So my name is Steve Cruse. I work for Lake Trust Credit Union, and I am a network security architect. I think we've been using SecureX pretty much since its inception. So how long has it been? 3 years? 4 years? Something like that? We use a lot of different Cisco security products to protect different areas of our entire infrastructure. And SecureX basically gives us that single pane to all of those products. The solution that we're trying to avoid was the fact that we have to go from product to product to product to product to either research security events or to just look at overall performance of those. And SecureX covers all of them. I mean, it covers every security product that we have. And in addition, there was integrations into third-party products as well, such as Office 365 and Azure VirusTotal to do some research there as well. So it was mostly initially implemented to help us with researching events, and has grown since then. So the two biggest things I think that are great about SecureX is one is the orchestration and visibility. We initially implemented it when it was first introduced just because of the visibility piece. So we could look at the performance and we could look at statistics associated with our entire security portfolio. Then they introduced orchestration. And orchestration is a game changer because now we can actually develop orchestration scripts to handle a lot of the investigations that we were doing before ourselves, that we were doing manually. So now we can actually set up orchestration to do things like do those investigations, and if it discovers something that we need to look deeper into, it can just send us an email, a text message, whatever we need to do. So it was huge. Oh God, yeah. And not only did it save us time, but we're a small organization, so we have a very, very small group of people that have to look into these things. And because we're a financial institution, every event, every alarm needs to be investigated. You can't assume that something is a false positive until you've verified it. You can't take the risk. So the ability to be able to have some of this orchestration handle that for us and even be a little proactive, go out to websites like Total's blog sites where they talk about the most recent attacks, they talk about the most recent indication of compromise, and to take that information and go ahead and run it against all of our security systems to find out if any of those things show up, it saves me days of work, easily days within a week, because now I can do more from an architectural perspective instead of having to investigate all these events. The other thing is it makes it easier for me to present to management, to our leadership team, how those security products are working, how well they're doing. We can look at things like our email statistics and realize that more than 50% of all the inbound email is actually rejected because it is either spam or malware or something else. They never would have understood that percentage is that high until we had a product that actually tracked those things. I would say that's part of it, was being able to show the leadership basically what's happening. I think another thing is when we do have to investigate something, we only have to go to one place. So if I need to look to see, I see an event that occurs, and maybe it's an event that occurred on an endpoint device, but I need to check the firewall. I need to check Umbrella. I need to check StealthWatch and email security and all of those other products to see what else was happening at the same time. SecureX is that for me. I can go into SecureX, I can go into the threat response part of SecureX, put in that endpoint device or put in the information, the indication of compromise, and it searches those products for me. I don't have to do that. And not only do I not have to do that, but we can now give that over to someone else that isn't as an expensive resource as I am. Just expanding into more areas, I would say. I mean, the more third parties that we have tied into it, the better. The capabilities are there, and it's just as they just continue to evolve the product, just the more and more things you can look into, the more and more analytics you can get, the more data that you can get, the better off we're going to be. It was something we never even thought of. And it's one of those things where they introduced the SecureX product. We saw it when it first came out. It was kind of like, what do we need this for? And then once we saw it, I was like, how did we ever live without it? It's one of those things that I think now, there's all this talk about EDR and all these other products, and I think SecureX fits in that area. But yeah, it was the first thing we ever saw that was anything like that. We just tried it out. It was available. We got it. Contacted Cisco. Cisco got it all configured for us. We tied it into the products that we had in the time, and we thought, wow, this is really neat. But it's evolved a lot. I mean, it has really evolved from that beginning, just that monitoring piece, to the orchestration piece now, the additional analytics that's there. They now have something called Insights, which then basically takes data from Microsoft Azure AD to get and Intune to give us information about our endpoints, detailed information about the endpoints from Secure Endpoint and all these different products. So it's just constantly evolving, and every time it evolves, there's more information we have, there's more visibility we have, there's more features that we have that just make everything so much easier. And it's in one place. I don't have to keep going back and forth. I don't have to go to Secure Endpoint to get data. I don't have to go to ICE to get the data. I don't have to go to Intune on Microsoft to get the information. It's all in one place. It's free. Can't get any better than that. It's in the cloud, and there's integrations with the devices. Now, we did all the integrations ourselves. It was very straightforward. There's instructions basically in the portal itself that says, these step-by-step how to get the different products integrated. I was able to do it all, so it wasn't hard at all. It's great. I mean, we have seen notifications, or we do receive notification actually from SecureX when there are any issues on the back end. They immediately notify us if it's affecting North America or Europe or PAC Asia. Constantly being updated if they're working on an issue, and then we get notifications when the issues are resolved. Most of these things that we've seen in the past usually happen, from our perspective, in the middle of the night, so it doesn't impact us as much. But it's been very reliable. I haven't seen a product that we couldn't integrate with it, right? So I mean, it scales all the way up to the whole Cisco product line, plus all of the stuff that is non-Cisco. Right? So, I mean, I haven't seen anything that indicates that there's a limit to what you can do. It's a 10. It's like one of my favorite things that has ever been built. It gives me the opportunity to be able to build orchestration so that things can be handled in an automatic way. It gives me visibility in one place. I mean, it is all around. It's just an outstanding product.